Okay, and we're live.
What's up, everybody? It's Season 2 of the Gamers Report 2.0. This week, I'm joined by Peter, Joe, and Sloan. What's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up?
Going great.
How are you guys this week?
I'm good. I'm back from a holiday. Had a very good holiday in New Zealand. And, yeah.
I'm back getting ready to starting school. Finally. Had my first day the other day of school. Had a tier. One tier. Single tier. It was by itself. So yeah, we had that gap here in podcasts. We had a season break, and I think it was really good. We got some new people on, obviously, with Sloan and our other friend Joe, and we should be seeing them more going forward. Everybody else is still around. David, for sure, hopefully, is still around to have him back on, and because I really enjoyed that last episode that we did. So. Just starting out, have you guys had anything happen in the past week, or even Peter, for you, the past couple months since we've been on break, that you wanted to talk about? Any life stories?
Doesn't feel like a couple months. It only feels like a couple weeks. Jesus.
Little nuggets of wisdom.
Not really. Finished off recording season 1 of Let's Roleplay.
I heard.
Started season 2 last week. And recording episode 2 tomorrow. So yeah, that's the thing.
Sweet.
It's good. I've got some new party members. Not new players, but new characters have been brought in. So yeah.
Any as good as good?
Oh, Tippo's still there. I basically gave them the option to bring in new characters if they so chose.
Right.
But Tippo, Varx, and Fana have stuck around. So
Great.
Spoilers, by the way.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Everyone else died.
You killed everyone. Right. They're all dead. That sounds like Peter. Especially from that stream a couple months ago. Sounded like he wanted to kill everybody off that day.
No, I wanted to die.
He does that most D&D sessions, really.
Yeah.
No,
really?
I
can see Peter being that way.
I kill you a lot.
Yeah. How many deaths is it now? 8?
Well, no, because Mort didn't die.
Artorias did.
Yeah, that's because you chose for him to die.
He still died.
He got infected with a disease and you just never bothered to get him healed, so...
It was incurable. He's turning into a tree.
Yeah, you could have still cured him.
Exactly that reaction is the perfect reaction.
You should have just become a new character, been like a pseudo voodoo.
Welcome to D&D, everyone.
I think I did. I think I did do the character, but the stats I rolled were so poor, it just wasn't worth playing.
Yeah, you did. That was your Kenku with 5 with -3 con or something ridiculous like that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So a gust of wind could have killed him.
Sloan, have you had any... Oh no, you're good, Peter. What were you saying?
Nothing. Just, yeah.
Sloan, do you have any wisdom for us other than don't play D&D with Peter?
I'm not super experienced with like D&D and stuff, so I really can't weigh in too much. I mean, as long as it's fun, though, right? So.
Right. Speaking of fun, I'll dabble in the sports section. We won't get too heavy into it until a few minutes from now. But our new season just started for the soccer team I coach, the little 10-year-olds, and we won today. So we've already matched our season wins from last season. So we can't do anything worse than the same, which is really exciting. So it was fantastic. Yeah, we scored 3 goals today. I was pretty happy. We only have three returning players from last year's team, which is kind of sad. I don't know. It's something about little kids, like when you coach them, you want to see them come back. So it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's cool to get new players and some new talent and teach them how to work together. But nugget of wisdom I have today is do not sling your keys. Yes, and I'm serious about that. So I leave my keys on a lanyard, and which goes around your neck for any of you who don't know what a lanyard is. And what I do normally is I'll swing them around my arm, and then it'll go up into a ball, and I'll put it in my pocket. All peachy. So I was at work one day. I got called into work at the theater downtown, and they gave me the city's credit card, and were like, here, go buy this $100 box of plastic wrap that goes on the stage for the concert in a couple hours. And I was like, got it, great. So I took off to the Lowe's hardware store down the road, and I got there, and there is a, the shelves in Lowe's, it's a warehouse type store. The shelves can go, I mean, it's close to 2 stories, maybe even 3 stories, mostly like 2 stories of a building inside this building. And I went and I bought the package, and I put it in my truck, and I was like, oh, I need to use the bathroom. So I went back inside. I got back inside, and as I went to put my keys in my pocket, I slung the keys. They snapped off the lanyard, went up onto the top shelf. So I'm just standing in the middle of the aisle in Lowe's, and I'm like, well, they're up there. So we called a worker, and the worker comes to help me. Well, my phone died, so I couldn't call my boss and tell her why I was going to be late with the wrapping. So they start looking for the keys and cannot find the keys. So I'm stuck in Lowe's with a box that's worth like $120 in my truck, locked, and my keys are lost. And my phone's dead. So I had to borrow a charger from one of the workers, charge my phone, order a Lyft ride, take my debit card, buy another package that was the same thing, get the Lyft to downtown because I couldn't find my keys. We get like near downtown. We get 2 blocks away from the theater I work at. And traffic was terrible for whatever reason at like 6:30, which is weird. So I had to take off through traffic with this massive box of...
To be
manager found out.
continued.
No. My manager found out. Like, I finally told her because I'm friends with her. And then she goes, oh, yeah, hey, Ben, here's this band, and I actually knew the band pretty well. Like they're a pretty popular band. I've liked them since I was a little kid, like 5 or 6. And she was like, oh, here's Ben. Ben, why don't you explain to them what happened to your keys tonight? So I met that band by explaining why my keys were lost in Lowe's and why I had to run through downtown Raleigh with a box. They thought it was great. So I go back the next morning, and the worker's like, yeah, just guess you can't have your keys back. And I was like, they're here. Just find them. I know about where they're at. Right as I go to, like, they were coming down, bringing the lift down for the last time when my roommate who had gone with me happened to see just the, like, little clip that goes into the lanyard hanging off the top shelf and, like, the randomest spot. So I got them back, but it was just like, why? Why does this happen? So don't sling your keys in a warehouse. Like, it's just not a good idea. So that's my nugget of wisdom. Disc golf adventures for the week. I went and played on an actual golf course with a blister on my thumb, which is a bad idea. I went to make a throw over a pond. It's a complete water shot. Like the hole's on the other side of a pond. Made a really great throw, except it slipped and like cut through the Band-Aid. That's how hard I like threw the disc. Cut through my Band-Aid, which takes a little bit of power off. The disc goes over the water, turns up in the air, and then comes straight back into the water. And it's like, I had just bought that disc. Like, that was my newest disc. It was like a $25 disc. And I was like, why? Every time we have a podcast, I throw a disc in the water. So
It's true.
I don't know if I'm going to have to quit doing the podcast or quit playing the podcast. I think it's you, Peter. Honestly, it's only when I'm on the podcast with you. So
And I'm
I don't
always
know.
on the podcast, so...
Exactly.
You just need one of those like skimmer nets to like retrieve them all.
Oh, yeah. Or,
Just attach a long piece of string to the disc.
see, we wanted to play on this course because it's the last day, it's the last month we'll have this course open ever. And it's on an actual golf course, which makes it like, because most disc golf courses are in the woods. And this place is an hour away. While I was sitting here yesterday watching the Little League World Series, and which the team from my state's still in, but and I got a text from somebody. He's like, hey, I just found your disc. And I was like, oh, sweet. And then they text me like, no, it's a different disc, but it's still here at the Ponderosa. So apparently I left another one there. So I was like, this is such a bad day for disc golf. So I haven't played since then, which is pretty rare. And by the way, Peter, I have made a bet with somebody that I can go 200 rounds in a single year of disc golf, as Peter gets up and completely walks off.
No, I'm just drawing my curtains.
Okay. The sport rant, I think, is over for this week. I think that's it. I think we've got that out of the way. So now we're out of the way of that.
I feel better.
Do what now?
You feel better.
Yeah, I mean, we won today. The team from right down the road from where I live in in the Little League World Series is in the American Championship today. They've played fantastic baseball, and it makes me super happy how well they played. I mean, they're just playing fantastic. So now that we've got my 10-minute rant out of the way, Peter, what have you been playing this week, dude?
Oh, go to me first.
Oh, sure. You're the veteran.
A bunch of stuff. I've been making use of the fact that Just Cause 3 is currently free on PSN.
Okay.
I've had a lot of fun with that. I've been playing a lot of Crusader Kings 2 on PC.
Gotcha.
And a lot of Dark Souls, both 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm not really good at that at all. Pretty bad.
Joe, you'll be proud of me. I finally completed Dark Souls 2.
Well done, you beat the easiest one.
Yay! And I'm getting there with Dark Souls 1.
Dark Souls 1 I still haven't beaten, so you're fine there.
Jeez.
And you say Dark Souls 2 is the easiest one, it's the best one.
Yeah.
Not counting Bloodborne. Because Bloodborne
It's not. Because what I've been playing with this week is even better.
Go on, Ben.
I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 3.
I don't have it yet.
You can have mine.
Ridiculously hard.
Is Ben freezing for everyone else, or is it just me?
He's freezing for me as well. And he's back.
You're not frozen over, Ben.
The struggle.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 3, a lot of Bloodborne as well. Just trying to get all the Soulsborne stuff done and dusted. Doing different styles of playthrough. Just finished Dark Souls 3 today actually. Got one of the optional endings.
Have you done any more of your Bloodborne Let's Play?
The way I was recording it, I was using the amazing internet at uni to sort of stream it and then download it from that. So I can't really do it anymore until I get a capture card of my own. So that series is on hold for now. But yeah, I've been playing a different character alongside that one as well. Sort of tied me over, but it's still in the process. So that's what I've been playing.
Awesome. Sloan, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Tales from the Borderlands, the Telltale game for the Borderlands series, and I don't want it to end. I'm actually going to do the last episode later today, and It's just been incredible. I went ahead and Humble Bundle had all the Telltale games on sale recently, and I got all of them, and so far this is my favorite. Like, it's just it's hilarious. Like, I don't know. It's just got one of the best dialogues for a game that I've ever seen, and I'm probably gonna play through it.
I was talking to
right after.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said that was their favorite one of all the Telltale games. They played all of them.
Yeah, I haven't played through it personally, but I've been watching my girlfriend play through it, and she's been just loving it.
What little bit I saw was really good, really good. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, you have a favorite character in it right now or anything?
Yeah, but it's not really a character that you interact with too much. So, the premise of the story is, you play as two characters, which is kind of slimmed down. Some games you play a lot, and sometimes you just play one. It's kind of an odd setup for Telltale just to have two, but it's there's a character that's asking you guys to tell the story, and so you're playing the game as your characters reminisce, Right. And so you just play based on who's telling their side of the story at the time. But
Gotcha.
The guy that's asking you about the story, I don't know why, he's it's this mysterious character. You don't know who it is yet. I don't know who it is yet, and there's something about him that's just you're this is a cool character, and it's really well done. There's plenty of humor from him, even though it's he's probably the least seen character in the game, but there's just they hit the humor perfectly with all the characters, but this one's just really good.
Nice. And do you like? What's the small robot? See, I've not played much at all. The little one with like one wheel.
Oh,
Claptrap?
Claptrap.
Does it start with a G? No, I don't know. See, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know. Gladys or
Gladys.
GLaDOS or something
There's,
is.
the one part I saw was he was telling somebody to get up who had been shot or something. And they're like, he's dead. Oh, that's unfortunate. He said something funny that made me laugh so hard the other day. Like,
Yeah, I
that's
know that
the
part.
of the game I've seen.
It's Gordis. Gordis
Yeah,
is the name of the robot.
Yeah,
I wanted to think it was the same as Portal, but it's not.
Have
that was
you got the finger gun fight?
Yes.
That is my
Yes, I have.
favorite scene in the entire thing.
See, I've seen the remake of that, but I've never seen the actual one.
It was.
It's amazing.
I almost couldn't believe. I was like, "Am I really doing this? Like, is this really what we're gonna go through?" And there's just this whole I kind of had expected it coming. They kind of were leading up to it because you're on this station and all the employees there are finger gunning each other and they're kind of playing it out, but it's just usually one-on-one. And then finally someone confronts you and you're like, all right, I might have to finger gun a few people, and then it's 100 people, and it's this insane scene, and it's just I'm really just pretending to shoot everybody, and they're playing along with it.
It's amazing.
I made it all the way through it without messing up any of the the options, and I guess if you mess it up, they actually are oh, waste him, and they actually pull out guns and shoot you, and you have to restart the whole thing. So
What?
I'm really lucky that I didn't have to play it multiple times.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's terrible. See, I don't know
Joe,
enough
you
enough
look so
about control.
confused right
Yeah,
now.
that's crazy.
I played first chapter of it and then just I don't really like
Just
it.
look up Tales from the Borderlands finger gun scene.
Okay,
It is
Yeah.
it's on the
amazing.
it's on the bucket list apparently.
I mean, there's tons of funny scenes. It's so different from other games because since it's a story game, pure story, they're allowed to have such better dialogue, I think, and that just it opens up so many doors with humor, and it's just amazing.
Right. Oh, so I went back this week, and so every once in a while I'll load up Rocket League to get all the achievements, because that's one of my 2 games that I have that are 100%ed, but Rocket League has updates, so that means achievements are added every once in a while. So I loaded it back up the other day and got all the achievements again. It's 71 now, but most of them are pretty easy achievements. And you can kind of cheese them because some of them you can get offline. A lot of them you can get offline, so you can go to exhibition mode and put one bot on rookie and get it, which is kind of cheese, but gamer score is still there. But so I keep that. I finally started playing Minecraft again, trying to get all the achievements in that. That's my new achievement game. But Sea of Thieves had a technical alpha this week, and normally I'm really thrilled about them. This week I was not 100% thrilled. So it's all online. You can't play offline. It's all multiplayer. But to my understanding, the newsletter that came out the other week about this alpha was that there was supposed to be a campaign into this. And normally when you play Sea of Thieves, as you turn in one treasure and get paid for it, or as you find a treasure, you'll immediately get the map for the next treasure. And it's hard to explain. They kind of label the next chapter whenever you find a treasure and get a new map. They kind of label it as a new chapter, but it's really confusing. And I'm it's still an alpha phase. I'm not really worried about this kind of thing, but they were saying there was supposed to be a campaign. They made a big deal in the newsletter. And then I played it this week, and unless I'm just stupid, it was pretty much the same thing as the last few alphas. And I was it was still fun. The crew I had was terrible this week, so I wasn't really I didn't really enjoy it as much as normal. And then on top of that, it wasn't really different. It had kind of seemed like the newsletter was saying it would be. So I was actually disappointed one time this week with Sea of Thieves, Peter, which is rare for me. I'm really rare. But that was a bad joke. Joe's gone. So that's mostly what I've been playing this week. been really busy with going back to school and everything. So, but the games I've been playing this week mostly Minecraft and Sea of Thieves. So, did you guys see anything interesting in the news? Sloan, I heard you said something about a UN letter earlier today.
Yeah, so there was a open letter to the UN from it was 116 founders of like tech companies that had signed it and sent it in from like 26 different countries, and they are asking the UN to consider forming a division where the UN will have a consulting division for lethal robotic weaponry.
Right.
And they wanted to, they want to start looking at writing in robotic weaponry clauses to things like the Geneva Convention. Like they just want, the rules of engagement to change a little bit, and to also look at like restricting even like research and development of things that could be really dangerous like that. And I guess like they had some issue with making the meeting happen, and I'm not really clear on that. But it's just interesting that like we're reaching the point where like it's more like sci-fi video game reality in some cases, where like it's like there's actually going to be robots out fighting at some point,
Exactly.
And it's something that we have to actually look at this point. Like that's just
It's not a 1980s George Lucas future film anymore. It's a next month possible situation.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's already been a point where, like, there's already been developments on almost like Iron Man style, like fighting suits and things like that, where like people, like the soldiers have like a HUD, a heads-up display where they can view like other, combatants and things like that, as well as like exoskeleton armor. Like all those things have already been worked on, not implemented too much yet, but they just don't want to move past that. They know that that's something like they had said that, like AI technology and especially like armed robots could be like the biggest threat to humanity, like even bigger than like nuclear warfare. So it's just it's almost like a futuristic Call of Duty like coming to life at this point.
And it's a very real and serious issue, but on one hand, it's hard for me to let this go. Could they have gotten one more company CEO to sign up and named it the Orion Project? I mean, come on, 116, really? You stopped one short? You were that close. You were that, especially for what this is about. You were that close. Like, you were that close. It was right there. You teed it up and just walked away.
I mean, maybe more will sign it. Maybe some other people will pop up. We'll see.
After one more.
Well, I personally welcome our new robot overlords.
I knew one of you was going to bring up.
Jeez.
Oh.
It's really interesting though, because on one hand it would be nice to take actual people out of the way of war, but at the same time, like, you make it. I'm not saying I know everything or anything about this, but it seems like what you're saying is right. You make it more dangerous when you start giving war machines all these capabilities. And I do not mean that as a pun, but like the overall actual war machine is what I mean.
Yeah, and it's just like the fact is, like, if we went into like robotic warfare, and it was almost like a cliche battlefield with waves of robots. Once one side tears through the other, they're gonna go for civilians.
Exactly.
And like that's the biggest thing, is that like it wouldn't just be robots on robots. There's a point when like the side that's winning, their robots are going to be killing humans, and like that's it goes against like the law of robotics, but like we don't even have those laws yet, specifically because we don't have an AI that they need to apply to necessarily, but it's coming up. So
yeah,
there's also the fact that the military probably will not agree with this in the slightest, because on one hand it's a good thing, like you said, it gets actual people out of war zones and everything, but on the other hand it also makes the armed forces kind of obsolete. So
yeah, I think honestly with I love history. I'm not a history major, but I love history, especially military history. One of my favorite things to watch growing up was the military channel. But I don't think the military will get on board with this until you have a situation like in World War I with the different gases that were used that were outlawed. They're not really going to get on board until you have a major situation happen. So I don't know if this will work. I'm not saying whether or not I agree or disagree with it. I don't know how well the militaries will agree with that. Hopefully it doesn't take a major tragedy to happen. Hopefully either way, hopefully there's no tragedies. But like a lot of times with military operations, it seems like it takes a tragedy that is unstoppable for them to outlaw stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. Another one of the big risks that they mentioned was that even if there's like a definitive set of rules and, you know, the countries within the UN that agree to these terms and these warfare terms, even if they like agree that like the robots wouldn't kill humans or anything like that, you know, they could take hostages or things maybe in some cases, but like even if they agreed to things like that, there's always the risk. One of the biggest risks is like terrorist groups or
Exactly.
you know, just rogue groups or mercenaries or anybody like that who, if they ever commandeered any of this technology, you know, they wouldn't even turn it on robots. They just turn it right on people.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, as much as we like the Geneva Convention and in similar situations with the UN, there are groups who are not going to listen to that at all. And if you allow groups who have the capability, such as, for example, U.S. military and other large militaries, to create this kind of technology, you almost get into the first Iron Man movie situation, where groups who may not have had the capabilities can access the technology, but will absolutely not follow convention law.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I definitely see the dangers there. Anything else?
Honestly, in my view, there's like no like plus side to having robots fighting on the war zone, because they're all like if they're part of a network, then that network could be hacked by anyone, and could cause like mass devastation. A glitch in the system might make it like explode or start firing in all sorts of. There are just so many problems that come with this sort of idealized technology, and you know we've learned this through movies, games, sometimes comics, that it's just that's the logical conclusion of having these sorts of creations.
Right? Was it Iron Man 3 where Stark's Iron Suit Army was taken over by somebody he pissed off like 20 years earlier? Like,
yeah.
And like, is it far fetched, and is it still fiction? Obviously, yes. Is it that far fetched that a radical group would do something to hurt people? No, it happens every day. I mean, even on small scales, it happens every day. So yeah, that's there. I see a few positives, but the cons are pretty heavy against it.
Really, the only positive is, like I said, it gets like actual people out of war zones, so you don't so people aren't actually throwing their lives away.
Yeah.
But then when you add the technology, you almost expand the war zone to everywhere. So you expand the war zone capabilities. So
it's also going to cost a hell of a lot more.
yeah, because every country needs to spend more military, right? But moving on from that, not to get political. Moving on from
that. Yes, video games.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
actual video games. Talking about as we've pushed off the actual video games in this podcast so late, let's talk about someone who does push off video games. Let's talk about Final Fantasy 15. Peter, you said something about port. Yes, you love that.
There's a PC port.
I'm gonna ride out of here on that one.
There's a PC port, and oh my god, it looks so pretty, but my computer won't be able to run it, which makes me really sad.
How should you know it's pretty if your computer can't run it?
I know, but when I do have a more powerful computer, then my computer will be able to run it, and oh my god, it looks so pretty.
I'm tempted to buy you a card for it.
Oh, please do. You will be my favorite person if you do, because oh my god, it looks so pretty.
Think of the mods. Think of the mods like that people would make for that.
They've actually talked about that, because obviously Final Fantasy 15 being what it is, with the main 4 characters being like pretty boy teenage rock band sort of look like people.
K-pop boy band, yeah.
Yeah, they Square Enix have come out and they're like, right, okay, mods are possible. We know what you fangirls are gonna do. We will let you make nude mods. We're not gonna censor them. We're just gonna let you do that and leave it up to you if you're gonna download it. The actual quote is they're gonna leave it up to human decency.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So
go.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I'm tired of seeing them because I play mobile games on my phone, and they are every other ad is the Final Fantasy 15 mobile game, and I'm like, I don't want to see it anymore. I'm so tired of it. So tired of it. Oh, it stresses me. I'm glad you like to look at it, but it stresses me.
I love Final Fantasy. I love anything Square Enix. So.
That's true. Square Enix is fantastic. Fantastic.
Toy Story and Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm not sure. See, okay, I'm glad you said that. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
It looks so pretty.
But there's a Woody right here. Like Toy Story. My room was Toy Story 3 until My room was Toy Story until I was 13 years old. Like, I love Toy Story, but I learned something last year called the Pixar theory, and I like it, and I hope it's real. If you haven't, you need to look it up. I'll drop it in the link dump down below today. But the Pixar theory, it's fantastic. I think it's real. I want it to be real. And I don't know. I mean, you could say it's not canon with the game, but I like the game being canon, and I don't know if I like Toy Story being in it yet, because I don't want to mess with the theory.
The Kingdom Hearts, apparently, according to Nomura, the Kingdom Hearts Toy Story world, what happens in that plot is actually canon to the films.
See, I just hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't cause problems.
If anything, it'll strengthen the theory that all the worlds are connected, because through Kingdom Hearts they connect each and every world with each other. Right,
but then, see, what you're saying is absolutely something I've thought of, and I really like that argument. I really do. But when you add too much access sometimes, and such as the case with some Halo stuff, when you add too many different things, you start stepping on yourself. I'm trying to find the word. This is how, like, I really care about Toy Story and I really care about Kingdom Hearts. I've got my Keyblade over here beside me, but like, I don't want them to mess each other up, kind of deal. And I don't think they will, because he's such a genius at looping stuff back around and making it work and not have errors and holes. So if there's anybody in the world that I trust to do it, it's him. I really do. But I'm scared at the same time. It's kind of like, don't hurt Precious. Like, please don't hurt my sweet baby boy. So, I'm really nervous. Fantastic.
Still going on about Kingdom Hearts, the new story update for Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, or whatever the fuck it's called now, is out.
Hey!
There's so much stuff they've revealed. It's really,
I know. I'm scared to look at it. Peter, should I look at it? Because I've been debating it the past, 13 hours.
It's really...
Is it spoilery?
It is. Just gonna say one word, and if you care about Kingdom Hearts, then it will mean stuff to you. If you don't, then it'll mean nothing. Marluxia.
Time out. No quality. 10-second time out. Sloan, do you care anything about this at all?
No, I played the first Kingdom Hearts a long time ago, but it was at the point when I didn't know what I was doing when I was gaming, so I didn't even finish the game because I got stuck on a level, and I just haven't revisited it. I'm sorry.
Now's the best time to do it. Now's the best time to go back, since you can get all the games on one console finally.
Or be a loser like me and just watch all the cutscenes.
Well, dude,
I did it.
That's what I did.
That's what I've done with Unchained Key.
13 and a half hours. So that took me a lot of binge watching. I'm not going to say how many days because it's a very small number. Okay, Peter, continue what you were saying. Sorry. I had to get that out.
What was I saying? Was I on
The
about
one
Final
word.
Fantasy, or was I on
You're
about...
about to say a certain word from the about the
Marluxia.
details.
What was the word?
Marluxia.
Oh, yeah, I saw something about that, but I don't know. I know what it means. I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't want to ask anything and spoil it for myself. I think
it's interesting. It's really
do I need to
interesting.
wait until I play the game? Do I need to wait until I play?
Sorry?
Because there's one thing every true Kingdom Hearts fan knows is the more you know, the less you know.
Yeah.
It's completely true with that game.
Yeah.
The more you know, the less you know. So I'm gonna let it stay. Sloan, trust me. The more you know, the less you know. I've watched the entire series at least once now, and the more you know, the less you know. I'm gonna leave it there. Anything else about the port to PC?
Well, what I was gonna say is the fact that they're porting Final Fantasy 15 over to PC makes me kind of hopeful that we're gonna get the same with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh wow, that's I hadn't even thought about that because it's gonna be on Precious, so it's not that I don't like PCs or PC gamers, and Xbox is definitely not master race. I hate that argument for any console or PC, but I hadn't even thought about that because I was just so happy that it was coming to Xbox. But that is something that is very interesting to think about.
What I don't get is why they bring Kingdom Hearts 3 out on Xbox, and now that they've done the HD versions of all the different games with the 2 HD collections,
right.
Why they didn't bring those out on Xbox One as well as PS4?
Well, I think we can answer that, or at least talk about that a little bit with something else Sloan had mentioned today. Sony has apparently been making excuses for its lack of cross-compatibility. I don't know how much that relates necessarily, but I do know that it is interesting to see them do this, especially the way Microsoft has been so gung-ho about it in recent history. Sloan, did you have more on that about the excuse that they sent out?
Their excuse was that one of the lines, which all the media that's been reporting on it, they're like, this is such a petty thing to say. But one of their lines was exposing what in many cases are children to external influence we have no ability to manage or look after is something we have to think very carefully about. And it's like,
what?
Xbox replied, and they're like,
what?
do you think we don't keep our Minecraft players safe? Do you think we just don't care about our players? They were just like, that's not an excuse. We protect our players too. We're not just gonna, ransack the PlayStation Network. That's not the point.
That was so weirdly worded too.
It's almost just they're kind of stalling because PlayStation sales are doing really well right now, and so there's a good chance that they just, they don't want to look at doing any collaborations or anything because they kind of want to just focus on themselves. But then just say that, instead of making up these lines that everyone can just kind of brush aside. It's just
that. I mean, I get playing in your own sandbox kind of deal, but that, even the wording, I know it's a press release, but even the wording of that's really weird. The way they said some of that's kind of odd, but yeah, that's a petty throwaway line that's not really. It seems pretty pointless. I know, they've got the two to me that stick out that I know they do cross-platform is Rocket League and Minecraft. That's just the stuff I know pretty well, but I'm not sure why they would be so against cross-platform other than just maybe obviously the money, Peter. That's why everyone's here. That's why everyone's in this business. But
we want to make sure that everyone who wants to game with people on PS4 has to buy a PS4. That's why.
Exactly.
There's no other reason why.
Well, you know what lost me completely from buying PS4? Kingdom Hearts becoming an Xbox One game. It was on the consideration list until they announced that it would be on Xbox One. I immediately dropped any thought of buying a PlayStation.
Bloodborne.
Or renting one or anything.
Bloodborne.
So they completely lost me with that one. And that's not Sony's fault or anything else. But I kind of get that that's what they're going for. But at the same time, I don't know if there's any PlayStation exclusive title right now that I would that I would drop Xbox for. You know,
Crash Bandicoot.
For me.
Monster
Do what?
Hunter.
Oh no! I'm not saying there's not good franchises out there
Bloodborne.
that are PlayStation exclusive. I'm saying for me personally. I'm not saying for the larger audience. I'm just saying for me. So I don't know. I guess it's kind of one of those things. To each his own. But
You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a common theme, Joe. You'll learn with me is I am entitled to my wrong opinion, even though it is very
We
wrong.
all are.
Yeah. Woo!
I'm a person who bought a Kinect and a Wii U. Who thought it was a great idea.
Have they said anything about...
Peter, we may need to recast next week's podcast. I'm
No,
not gonna lie.
me and Joe had a lot of fun on the Wii U while we were flatmates.
Okay,
Mostly
so
Smash.
I've said this before, but even this long after I said it the first time, I really kind of wish I had a Kinect. Not gonna lie. Never played Zelda, but I really want to play Breath of the Wild. Like it's itch. That and I saw somebody playing the new Mario Kart the other day, and I was like,
"Oh, do you mean
want to play
Switch?"
Really bad, but I can't because I'm dumb and I didn't buy it, and I bought a bass guitar, which has been fun, but it's not been a video game. So,
have they announced anything about a port of the new Smash Bros on the Switch?
Nope.
I would not be the person to ask. Yeah,
I'm very surprised they.
It would be big news by now if it was.
Yeah, I know. I'm very surprised.
You know what would be crazy? PUBG on the Wii.
It is coming out on the PS4 apparently.
What's
yeah,
this?
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that's like one of the things that sparked Microsoft talking to them more was like, between Microsoft and like PC and all that, you can already do Xbox to PC gaming for like PUBG and stuff as planned, but they're like, well, we really want to include Sony in this. And I think that's kind of why this is back up in the news, is specifically because of PUBG. Like, they just want everyone to be able to play together.
Right.
I still haven't even
Especially
played
a
it.
game like that.
I can understand the security reasons why they wouldn't want to do it, because they don't want all these consoles being on one single network. But it's only like for certain games, so it's not going to connect their like accounts or anything like that. It's not going to do anything to do with that, so I don't really see why not.
One thing I am curious to see, like things like Minecraft and Rocket League, I'm not really worried about. But for a shooter, I'm really because everyone said, no, this is something I have not proven to myself one way or the other. But one thing I've always heard is that shooter games are much better on mouse than on a controller. So I'm wondering if the PC and obviously some of you are biased, and I wonder if the PC players for PUBG are just going to slaughter the controller players, other than the really good controller players.
That's honestly been kind of like a prediction. That it's just going to be hard to play with people who are on PC if you're on console.
I have a feeling.
Yeah,
I have a feeling there's a very simple way around that. Because obviously you can play PlayerUnknown with a controller while playing it on PC, I believe. So just have it where if you're in a lobby that is open to all players, make it so that the PC players have to play with a controller.
I don't think PC players would join that, though.
No.
Then give them the option.
I mean, that's a good point. Like, I think that would be fair, but I think that it would make a lot of people steer away from it. But in some cases, you'd still have people would do it, though, because if they had friends who had it on Xbox or something, like, they would still specifically go play it like that.
Well, you can make it so that you've got a lobby where it's, like, open to console players, and then you've got a lobby where it's just PC players, where they get the choice between controller or mouse, whichever one they feel more comfortable with.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Problem is, there's not really a way for the network to detect what input devices they're using, whether a controller or a PC, because it's just mapped to different buttons in the end, and there's no way for the network to detect who's using what without getting into their computer systems and seeing what's actually connected to it. So that's the problem with it. It's the same like PS4 has an option to have use a mouse and keyboard with certain games like Final Fantasy 14. But games like Overwatch, which is a big PC game as well as a console game, does not allow that option for using a mouse and keyboard as a controller, because it gives them an unfair advantage.
Right.
Which is why they're not probably trying to steer away from PUBG doing cross compatibility because of the controller options.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, Peter, about having the specific lobby set up as well, I think that's a really good alternative, and it's probably what they'll end up doing, honestly. But yeah, because it looks already hard enough to win. I don't want to have to overcome.
I don't
that
think I've
gap.
ever seen anyone win.
Do what?
Of all the videos of it I've seen, I don't think I've ever watched a video where it showed the person winning.
Oh, wow.
I've seen quite a few actually.
Yeah, I watch. That's one of the few things I actually watch on Twitch. Not because I don't like Twitch, just because most of the content I watch on the internet, I have to watch on YouTube, so I can do it at 1.5 speed because I don't have time to sit and watch it at regular speed, honestly. So, but yeah, I think that's a good option. Speaking of multiplayers, I think, Joe, you're talking about a game who's finally getting its multiplayer on average release.
It was announced / rumored that No Man's Sky is finally getting its big multiplayer patch, but we don't know when. We know they've started implementing it with their latest updates, calling it light multiplayer, but this might be the stepping stone of them actually finally putting multiplayer into No Man's Sky.
Gotcha.
Just with games with Elite Dangerous on that level, but we've yet to find out whether it's actually definitely going to happen.
So it's just a rumor at this point.
I have a question.
They've go on.
Does anyone really care about No Man's Sky still?
It's like the pretty but dumb sister of Minecraft, in my opinion. No one really talks to, but everyone knows.
It's like, I don't know. Your uncle's trying to find a game. It's like, oh, he likes Minecraft. I'm sure he'll like this one, and then just throws it in the basket, gets it, and then sees the crushing disappointment on the grandkids' face.
It just goes to show what my big issue is with modern gaming, where back in the day, in the PS2, you bought a game, that was it. That was the game. They games. When games were brought out, they had to be good, or else people just wouldn't give a shit. Whereas now, it's No Man's Sky comes out, they spend however long building out. It comes out, it's shit, and now
wait, we can fix it. Wait,
we're fixing it. It's fine. Give us money.
That's like every Ubisoft game.
That's why I don't play Ubisoft games.
It's like you buy a new car. You buy a new car and you pull out of the lot. You go up to the first stop sign and you go to hit the brake and there's no brake pedal. And you turn around and look out the window and the dealer's running down the road we'll fix it. It's too late now. You've already ruined it.
It's like with going back to Final Fantasy, with Final Fantasy 15. As much as I love that game, the story is absolute shit because they cut half of it out and they're putting it back in through free updates and DLC.
I don't think anybody is escaping this problem. Obviously I'm a huge Halo fan. I'm gonna love Halo to the day it dies. Hopefully I die before it dies. But it's at an all-time low. Nobody who likes Halo would tell you otherwise. It's at an all-time low. And one of the big complaints was a lot of people felt like they were given half a game with the year of DLC that was coming with it. Granted, it was free DLC. To me, the difference between free and paid DLC is huge. If you're giving me free DLC, I can live with you giving me a half-completed game. But at the same time, that means I'm going to actually... it's kind of like with this, when you're testing a game like an alpha or a beta phase. I understand that's not the complete game, but it's better than not having anything until the full game. But at the same time, I understand everybody's frustration with it. I just bought Destiny, And just to get all of the content that's going to come with Destiny, I had to pay $100 for the season pass and everything. And like on one hand, like if you're Australia, I get it. You pay $90 for every game anyways. But that's $100. That's ridiculous. That's almost a third of the cost of a new Xbox One, like a Xbox One right now. That's ridiculous. You should not be paying $100 to get the complete game. You should be able to pay $60 and get the complete game. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous.
That's why I didn't buy Star Wars Battlefront 3. I refuse to call it Star Wars Battlefront 1. It's Star Wars Battlefront 3. Like,
I don't know. I'm not saying it'll never change.
EA presents Star Wars Battlefront.
Ugh. I'm not saying it'll never change.
The season pass for that was more expensive than the actual fucking game.
Yeah.
What about Evolve, which had 2 season passes?
It's not something that'll change overnight. I don't know if it'll ever change. I'm not saying one way or the other. I don't personally think it will, but I think it has the opportunity to. But I don't think it will. It's just, it saddens me. I mean, it's kind of one of the things, our kids will never get a complete game again. No one can buy a complete game. Yeah. It's really sad, but it's just like, that's the world we live in now, I guess. Video games are suck.
My little brother is 10 years old, and he has a PS4 and everything. I took my PS2 up last time I went to go visit him, because I was like, right, I'm going to show you the games that I grew up with when I was your age and everything. And he's like, where's the shop? How do you get the DLC? And I'm like, oh my fucking god. You don't know what it's like to buy a complete game.
That's so bad. See, that's to me, that's a tragedy. It's like,
you could also be complaining there's not enough game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, where's the season 3 campaign? Where's the rest of the campaign? It's like, no, you finished it now when the game came out, and you waited for 4 years. You don't get the next part of it in 4 months. You wait your tail. You wait for the next console to come out. Like, Kingdom Hearts especially was like that. It wasn't like, oh, well, here's Kingdom Hearts, the first one. We'll come out with the second console game in a year and then DLC.
No, Kingdom Hearts. You play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and then you had to buy 6 other fucking consoles.
I was about to say, you had to buy 2 different Game Boys, PS, whatever it was
PSP,
on. Was it on the
PSP?
PSP, 3DS, DS, GBA, and PS2. And now PS4.
It was none of this Nintendo backwards compatible bullcrap. None of that was available. It was just like, you buy this game, and then you wait for the next title game. You wait. I don't care if you're middle school. It's not coming out till you're a senior in college. Like, that's crazy.
Well, in between Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 2 first came out when I was just going into secondary school. Kingdom Hearts 3, if they stick to the 2018 release date, will be coming out as I finish uni.
Exactly, the exact same. Like, I think
terrifying.
We're probably the same. I know your school system's slightly different than ours, and I've listened to a certain other famous internet personality, Wink Strug, talk about this. But I think we're like the same year of school, maybe a little bit different age. But it was like, I played the first one a little bit when I was in elementary, kind of like Sloan was saying. I didn't really know, I didn't play games to complete them. I played them to beat them, and then I was kind of done with them. I didn't really go through and get all the achievements or anything like that. And then I really got into it and decided to go back and play it after I bought Kingdom Hearts 2. And then I spent my first 100 hour game was Kingdom Hearts 2. So I got super into it. And I was into it for years. And I started looking for the next game to come out. That was in early middle school. And I was like, oh, when's Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out? If I could go back to myself and be like, shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down. You're not getting it till you graduate college. Stop looking for a new game on the internet. I spent hours trying to find, when was Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out? It's no, you will not see it. Your face is clean now. You will have a full beard before it comes out. You will literally grow a beard waiting for this game. Okay?
I remember when Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep was announced. And everyone was like,
yeah.
Oh, this is the CG trailer. I was at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom
Hearts 3. And everyone was like, wait, it's on the PSP? What the fuck?
Yeah, they're just kidding, not a title game, PSP. And I was sitting there like, well, here's my $100 from cutting grass. I don't think this is gonna buy it. Like, it might buy the game. So yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing about it. That, and another crazy thing I had with like a kid the other day. I went to the SuperCon here in Raleigh a little while back, and like Diva's voice actor was here. A couple of people from Star Trek were here. Like, there's some really cool people. Michael Rooker from Walking Dead and Guardians of the Galaxy was here. Super excited about him being here. A couple other people. But here, and I was talking to somebody because I actually worked for the convention center because they're partnered with the theater I work for. I helped clean up all the convention center wiring and everything. And I was talking to one of the owners as we were getting to pack up everything, and he was like, "Yeah, I almost named my daughter. We almost named our daughter Cortana because we love Halo so much." And like his daughter was beside him the whole time, but like it didn't register with me that this like 13-year-old girl was younger than Halo, and I was like, "That's crazy!" Like that blew my mind. I was like, the game is older than her. Like, it hurt my head. I was like, I'm getting so old. So, I don't know. It's cool that gamer culture now has like adults who have been in it their entire lives.
Well, it's like with Robin Williams' daughter, who's named Zelda.
Oh yeah. That's true. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
It's weird when you
crazy.
think about how long gaming's been around for.
Yeah. Man. That's awesome.
So that's my
just so
soapbox on DLC culture.
Yeah.
And this was started from No Man's Sky.
Yeah. That was a long rabbit trail.
Oh, this has been building over the last over. How long have we been doing this podcast now? Like 6 months.
6 months with a 2-month hiatus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I work a lot of jobs and I coach and I play on. It's hard for all of us to get together. That's really our biggest problem. Because everybody's busy. None of us get paid for this, as we mentioned 100 times. I need to stop talking about that. So yeah, trying to get everybody together is the big difference.
Or no?
I'm sorry, what?
Do we have a Patreon setup or no?
We should. I mean, nobody would donate to it, obviously.
Yeah, never.
But we should get one there.
Not with that attitude.
I'll ask mother. I'll ask my mother for money. Hey mom, Peter needs a graphics card.
From what I've learned from watching other YouTubers, what we need to do is put a message at the beginning of every episode begging for money, and people will give us money.
Well, here's
what you do if you want to get views is do a diss track, mention Jake Paul or KSI or Sidemen, and that'll be millions straight away.
Or I can beat my cat at the beginning of it. I'll bring my cat and I'll beat my cat. And then Peter will put up the Patreon, and it'll be money to stop Ben from beating his cat. That always scores. Stop pet violence. Did Joe just fall out of his chair?
No, I just dropped something on the shelf.
Okay. I heard Peter laughing, and I was like, Peter never laughs at me, so I've got to see what Joe's doing.
I was just laughing at Sloan's reaction to you saying that you're going to beat your cat up.
Beat my cat. No. Okay, so we got a new kitty, and I love it so much. It's at my house. I'm at the apartment to record this because my internet there's trash. But we got a new kitty, and I'm severely allergic to cats. Severely, which sucks because I used to have a ton of cats.
Then why did you get a cat?
My family got it. I don't live at home. I go home, but I don't live at home. So we got this cat, and his name is Sam. My dad named it Sam because that was what he named his first cat. We've had like 60 cats, and he named this one Sam. Probably my favorite cat, and its name is freaking Sam. So I go home to meet Sam the cat, and like immediately the cat comes running up to me and like loves me, and I was like, Mom, get the Benadryl. I'm touching this cat. I'm holding the cat. So I took the Benadryl, held the cat for 30 minutes, and then just passed out from the Benadryl. So I was like, I'm touching this cat. So I almost went home today. If we didn't have to record this today, I was going home just to play with Sam the cat. That was the reason I was going home. Love my family, but I was only going home for the kitty. So that has made me so happy.
That's the only reason I come home nowadays.
Hey kitty, hey kitty,
Kitty.
hey kitty.
I'll have to show you guys Sam someday, dude. I love Sam. She's awesome. But yeah, speaking of other things I love, well, not so much. This is the last news, I swear. Xbox One X. I wasn't really thrilled about it. I wasn't one of these haters, but I'm not really thrilled about it. Apparently, it's already outsold every other Xbox console in pre-sales, which I think that's crazy. I didn't think it would do that well.
A lot of stupid people involved.
The world runs on people being stupid.
So
it's awesome.
Is this in terms of units sold or in terms of money earned? Because if it's in terms of money earned, there's a very good reason for that, and that's the price.
Yeah, well, inflation. Inflation would be one. But yeah, I didn't see in the article I read. It didn't mention a number. Like, I love stats, and I didn't see any number. So I'm hoping, or I'm guessing that they are probably going off of money to make the article better. Like, make an article that sounds really cool.
Sounds about right.
Xbox.
Do what now?
X. That's such a fucking stupid name.
Units sold.
I had heard that it was interesting. They'd predicted that like their sales would go on for like a week, and instead it was like one day, and they were actually surprised by that. Like based on like all of their own statistics and telemetry, they're like, all right, we can sell these for a week before we're gonna run out. It was one day. That was it.
Yeah, that's what they were selling. Is everywhere was selling out like on pre-order, which like again for a mid. It's not even a mid-console. It's a mid-console second console. Like, you already have the 1S. You've already had the first one that got smaller, and you had the 1S, and now you got the 1X. And it has done phenomenally well. Even if they're just talking about net sales and not even the number of units sold, that still to me is like crazy. It's crazy. I know they've got 110 games now that have enhanced for the Xbox One X. And it comes out on November 7th. So here in a couple of months, 2 or 3 months. But personally, I'm not going to spend that kind of money for a mid-console console A. It had some really cool numbers and intestines to it, but I don't know. I don't get. I like my graphics, but I'm not a fanboy of graphics. Like, I just had a stroke. I don't know what I'm going to say now.
It's such an ugly console as well.
You're an ugly console.
The Project Scorpio edition looks really, really pretty, but the standard edition just looks.
The Xbox One X is just there to compete with the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
I think that's the only reason it exists.
Oh! It just hit me. So I go to GameStop. I stop in GameStop whenever I get the chance, and I was talking to someone there because this was the first thing that came to mind, and I think I talked about this last podcast. But the Xbox One X name is just not a good name.
It's such a shit name.
It's not that it's a bad name in and of itself. It's going to be really confusing between the 1X, and the 1S for parents to buy. On pre-order, it's not going to be as bad because those are more than likely people who are fans of Xbox. They're not parents buying yet. You're not going to have parents pre-ordering a console for their kid this early when it's a mid-console console. But come Black Friday, like I honestly wonder how much of a headache that's going to be for people working at GameStop. They'd be like,
at least it's easier than people trying to buy the new Nintendo DS, not the newest one, just called the new one.
How many new DSs
the new 2DS
XL?
Yeah,
Nintendo. Like after the first DS came out to now has been what 7 years, thereabout. 6 years or 7 or 8 years.
Please don't say that. You're making me feel old. It's longer than that.
Yeah, I know. Right? I think I got one like right as I was going into middle school or right at the end of elementary. So that would have been 8 or 9 years ago. I wonder how many.
Jesus! Now I feel old.
Yep.
The Nintendo DS, the original Nintendo DS, is 13 years old.
Oh!
It came out in 2004.
Oh no!
Who feels old right now? Because I sure as fuck do.
Even Sloan. No, I haven't I don't think I had one till like 2008 or 9. But still, like, how many DSs have there been? And how what is the variation in the name? What's been the variation in the names? Like one letter for 9 different versions.
I will look it up.
DS Lite XL.
Okay, but
then you have the 3DS.
Then you have the 2DS, the 3DS, right?
If you're not including the
Nintendo
3DS
DS
line,
family.
it's just 3.
We have.
It's a crazy family. The
we
point
have
is, there's too many.
DS, Nintendo DS Lite, Nintendo DSi, Nintendo DSi XL.
Oh shit! Yeah.
When I was a kid, they said, "Here's a Game Boy." That's the only thing you get.
We had the Game Boy, and then we had the Game Boy.
Here's a grey brick.
You
Yeah,
play
well,
green
games
brick,
on
and then here's the
model-
green brick. Now it has color.
I had the transparent purple Game Boy Advance. That was my first handheld. I loved it. It was awesome.
I've got the original Game Boy.
We've sent Peter on a mission. No, time
trying
out.
to
You have
find my
the
Game
England
Boy
version of
Color,
the Game
it's
Boy?
here somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
That purple BS?
I've also got a Super Nintendo from Germany.
Back when England actually had a video game business.
I can't find it.
Aww.
I will
That's a
find it
shame.
by next week.
I
You can probably find mine as well.
I found my Game Boy Advance at one point a long time ago, and then I lost it again. So, not great.
I never had a
Not
Game
great.
Boy Advance. I went Game Boy Color, and then I went Nintendo DS. I never had a Game Boy
SP.
Advance.
You didn't have an SP?
Never had a Game Boy Advance. I didn't have any of them.
I always
I had
SP was too
I had a Game
small.
Boy Color, and then I had a Nintendo DS. And then
I had an
Nintendo
SP. I
3DS.
didn't really like the size of it. Because, there you go. I didn't like the size of it. Because I went from, the Advance, which was a lot more like an actual controller, to, the SP, which was, trying to text somebody on an old Nokia. So,
Oh, that feels alright.
yeah. I have big hands, though. So, it doesn't work for me. Doesn't work. Sloan, is there anything you want to add? You've been kind of quiet. We've kind of run away from this Nintendo conversation.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. I never really owned I know I've had a couple Game Boys and stuff, but I've never had the any Nintendo products. I don't know. I just their games never were a huge interest for me, which is it seems like every gamer has a core love for Nintendo products, and it's just something that I never got into.
I can understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
I had an N64, an Advance, an SP, a DS, and a Wii.
I had an
But for,
Atari Lynx.
For most
I had-
games,
Of
Only
all
ones that I played,
consoles
Pong
growing up,
on.
I had an Atari Lynx.
Sega Genesis was my main one.
Really? I played a
Yeah.
little bit. I didn't own it, but I played a little bit of There's
Although
two.
we call it a Mega Drive.
Yeah.
I played a
That
basketball
was
game
my
on the
first
Sega,
console as well.
and I don't know how anybody ever played that. I played it when I was a little kid too, so it was before Xbox One 1080p. It was even only playing a Nintendo 64. I tried to play a Sega Genesis, and I don't know how anybody saw anything on that game. That was maddening to play. It was I don't know if that's the basketball
A shit ton of
or
trial
somebody
and error.
old head. Yeah,
It's playing a sports game on a 16-bit console. It's never going to end well.
My
bad idea.
my
Bad
first
idea.
gaming memory as a kid is me and my older sister completing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the first time.
Yeah, we're running
I'm
kind of
guessing
long.
your sister was Tails.
No, she was
What's
she was the older sibling, so I was Tails.
Returning to help.
Oh.
I was only it's been what, 5? And then we had the Sonic trilogy and the Mortal Kombat trilogy. When I was 5 and my sister was 8, me and her would play Mortal Kombat. We turned out
All kind of
great.
jumps.
That's terrible for us. Terrible.
That's fine.
No. Okay, so we're running kind of long on time, but I've always wondered that. Joe and Sloan, do you guys remember the first time you picked up a video game and what it was?
Yeah, I do. I couldn't guess how old I was, but my father had bought a flight simulator for himself, and I remember playing that when I was really little. I guess I don't know. That's not a regular game. It was so basic and everything, of course, at the time because it was back,
Right.
early '90s. But
Did you have a joystick?
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember, I think it had like 2 settings to it. So there was like my father had his pilot's license, so like he was really into like the flight simulator for that reason, because he didn't have a plane, but he had the flight simulator to like pretend, I guess. And I remember him using like a keyboard for some of it, where like he had like super like interfaced controls. Like it was a really neat game and everything, but then like I obviously couldn't play like that as a kid, so he had bought a joystick. I just had the joystick with like the 3 buttons on it and just fly that around and stuff, and that was fun.
Joysticks can be fun. That's pretty cool. Joe, do you remember your first like experience with a game?
The only one that comes to mind at the moment is original Game Boy, and it was RoboCop.
Oh, that game.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's actually really fun, but I only ever beat the first stage and then nothing more. That's the only thing I remember.
My first one was.
What was mine?
I thought yours was Sonic. Was that the first one you owned?
Yeah, that was the first one I owned.
Gotcha.
The first game I ever played was one of 2 possibilities. I'm not sure which came first, but it was either playing the Star Wars Episode 1 game on the PC at my cousin's house, or if you remember on Windows 98, they had it came with a bunch of games, like install like a bunch of small little shitty games.
Demos.
Yeah.
Like Minesweeper.
It might actually be Minesweeper.
Jeez.
So we click squares and try not to hit mine.
No, they had one game on there which was like a it was like you were in a maze and you were in a tank, and then there were a bunch of other tanks, and you had to go around the maze and destroy all the tanks. I don't remember what the game was called.
I think it's just called Battle Tanks.
No, it wasn't. It like when I say tank, it wasn't like a proper tank. You were in like a futuristic hoverboard tank kind of thing. It was like a deathmatch mode and stuff like that. And I would play it. I used to play that a lot when I was younger. And me and my sister would play golf as well on it. That was fun.
Great shot.
My first one was Mario Kart 64. So
That's a good game to start with.
That's a good one to start with, man. I mean, I've gone back and played that as recently as probably last winter. Yeah, I played a little bit last winter. My brother still has the N64 hooked up in his room, and I'll go back and play it sometime. He doesn't play a ton of video games, but he ends up, like, his room becomes the collection for all my old consoles and stuff. So, like, the 360's in there, the PS2's in there. Anytime I want to load up Kingdom Hearts, I tried to go back and play Kingdom Hearts 2 that last winter, and man, was that hard. Like, just the graphics. PlayStation 2, it's just like, I couldn't do it. Even though I love the game, it's like, I can't play this anymore.
The graphics of Kingdom Hearts 2 still hold up, if you want my opinion.
Well, to you, yeah, but for me, no. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And it's not that it's bad, it's just I've gotten used to a standard, and trying to play something different is just, I can't do it. It's a personal failure I have.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Exactly. See, we need to start having Peter. I'm gonna do
counter
something.
to wrong opinions.
No, we
From
need
now,
a t-shirt.
Peter, we're going to do something. We're going to go from now to the end of the season, and you have to. You're the editor for this, so this is your fun task. You get to have a Ben's wrong opinions counter.
Yeah.
Peter's slowly dying inside now.
You love editing.
I do. How long have we been going?
Well, I mean, I have to watch this again too for the link dump. So I'm not the only one. You're not the only one. I mean, so I'll go back and look for the links and everything. But outside of that, yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. I mean, pretty much anytime I talk, just ding, throw it up.
Okay.
I'll give the time and say Trump this time.
So what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I'll just need to make a mental note of time codes from now on, just to save myself the hassle.
All right. Well, did any of you guys look at the sun this week? Well, I guess that was here, wasn't it?
You got the eclipse. We didn't.
Sorry, I had a
Reading
moment there. Sloan, did you look at the sun wherever you?
Yeah. Yep.
Sweet. It was cool, I guess. I think where I'm at is like a 96% eclipse. I could have driven the last like 4%, but then I don't know. I had stuff to do that day, and I heard rumors. Like apparently, my part of America was supposed to have like 3 million people coming through to go to it, and I was like, that still sounds fun. And then someone I work for the city of Raleigh, which is like my state capital. So I heard rumors that there was a lot of concern about people actually running out of gas on the highway and water. And I don't like running out of gas, and I don't like running out of water. So I decided to pass and just watch it off the balcony at 96%. But
Yeah, I didn't want to travel anywhere to do it, so I just watched the partial eclipse from here. So
that OC gamer part of me was like, "You're at 96, just go get it." But we had that disc golf trip later in the week. We were already going to be driving 2 or 3 hours for, and I just did not want to make that drive. So yeah, I was the same boat. Well, I guess this has been a long one. I mean, I guess.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Extra long ones.
Yeah,
it's been about an hour and 40 minutes.
Fix the season break. Catch up everything. Find old keys, and get started back in a direction. I'm not sure. Me and Peter haven't discussed when season 2 will be going up for Let's Roleplay. The D&D show we have. It should be.
I actually know when it will be now.
Okay.
I actually have a timescale for you.
Would you like to announce it now, or do you want to discuss it and later? You can go ahead and announce it if you've got a good time for it.
I will. Let me just double check how many episodes are now up on the channel. I believe episode 6 or 7 just went up. So episode 6 just went up. Okay. I believe there's either 6 or 7 more episodes of this season, and then
that's right. We were saying probably closer to December. There'll probably be a gap between season 1 and season 2 of that. Look, really, yeah, ruh-roh. We should be. We're making some minor changes to season 2 and on the production side of things, but similar cast, right, Peter? Is this mostly same group?
Everyone who was in season 1 is back. No one new has been added yet.
Awesome sauce.
So, yeah, it's there, and I am currently working on in the background a little short, like 10-15 minute video, like we discussed, just to recap season 1.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the big thing.
Season 2.
So if you're new to Media Wave, if you're new to Media Wave and you're new to that series, go back. There's plenty to catch up on if you want to watch the entire season, or if you just want to start when season 2 comes out. We'll have a little like a intro to that season.
Season 1 in total has 15 episodes, including a little special that we did at the end, which isn't important to watch. It's basically just a little battle royale we did just to celebrate the end of the season.
Definitely go back and watch it. As far as our Let's Plays go, we've run into a situation with some technical errors and basically the inability of Mac to function as I wish for it to function.
I've got a few that I'm working on that I need to work on.
Yeah. I know Peter's working on some stuff. We're talking to Joe about possibly doing some things. I am in the middle of doing some 7 Days to Die achievements, and I'm learning very quickly to just leave the recording. Or the good thing about Elgato is you can back record, so if you mess up and skip something, the second video I've recorded actually starts. The video starts, I think, technically before I even hit record, because I got an achievement by accident setting up another achievement. Basically, it's going to be somewhat of a Let's Watch with my roommate Zach, who, if you've guys seen any of the Let's Plays we've done before, he's in some of them.
They're entertaining. They're really entertaining.
Yeah, I love Zach is awesome. Me and Zach have been buddies for a long time, and some 7 days achievements. Basically, going through to get all the achievements. Probably won't get them all. I'll probably yell more than I get achievements. I know I did in the first video a lot. The second video is absolutely a short one, but worth watching for sure. And it's been a lot of fun to record that one. And I'm learning a little bit about how to edit now, so it's not like total trash, and it's not just a bunch of me sitting there looking exactly like I don't know where to go now. So that's been a lot of fun to do. And also, I know we've talked a lot about doing a lot more Twitch streaming and everything. Sloan here is my new sensei for learning how to do that, and she's been very helpful so far in learning the basics and everything. So hopefully I'll be able to learn more from her and actually start getting our Twitch in a active direction.
Have you done anything on Twitch since I
Not since
wanted to kill myself?
No.
Tunguska?
If you've not seen that, you need to go. It was a test run. It was mostly a technical test run, so we didn't really advertise it, and it was just Peter. But
wanting to
goodness,
die
that
for
was
3
fun.
hours while I played the.
If you want to watch Peter's slow, you want to watch Peter's soul slowly pour out of his face. That's a perfect video to do it at, because he died like 3 or 4 times physically, like fell off the camera. But it was fantastic. So yeah, we're gonna try to be working towards that. Anything you guys wanna shout out or mention or promote before we go, Peter? I try to get everything. I try to get everything so you guys wouldn't have to do anything. But
I think that's everything. I am going to be starting a Let's Play on my own personal YouTube channel, which I imagine will be linked down below. Correct, Ben?
sure. Link to your personal channel.
And
Yeah, it'll be there.
yeah, of the Crusader Kings 2 Game of Thrones mod, because I like me some Game of Thrones, and the season finale is tomorrow, and I'm both scared and sad and excited.
Right.
Can I make you a promise?
Someone
will die.
Sorry?
Someone will die.
Oh,
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's Game of Thrones.
I don't even
A
watch
lot of
it.
people have died this season, Ben. You need to get called up so we can talk about it on this podcast.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
I've given you 2 weeks to catch up, and then I'm
2 weeks?
discussing it.
I've
2 weeks is plenty of time.
There's only
I watched
what,
one
7
playthrough.
episodes this year?
Telltale game.
Yep.
How many seasons am I behind? All
What
of them.
season
The
are you
answer is
on?
all of them. I've seen one playthrough of the game, the Telltale game. So I'm so far behind. How about this? We'll do this.
Wait, you haven't even started watching Game of Thrones yet?
No. We'll do this, though. I will make a
There's
promise.
no excuse.
Here's the promise I'm trying to make to you. How about this? When we hit 50 viewers for a single podcast, I'll watch the first season. Every podcast that we get 50 viewers, I will watch a season. And then we can have a Game of Thrones podcast.
Well, aren't we averaging on about 40 or so every podcast in the first few days?
Yeah.
You got yourself a deal there.
It's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter, you watch 25 times, I'll watch 25 times.
Hey,
There
no.
you
We're not going to boost. We're not doing that to our channel. I would never, well, I mean, we didn't reach that other marker for that dumb live stream you wanted me to do with some weird game, Peter.
Oh,
I watched that. I kept just quietly watching it, and like, don't happen, and it never did. So I escaped that one. Maybe I'll escape this one too. Hopefully not. I mean, I'd rather have the views, but geez, that's a lot to do. I think I have a cousin who has them on DVD. Maybe.
You can watch them all online. I'll send you link to the website where you can watch them all online. That's how I've been watching season 7. So.
True.
Yeah, watch them legally, like Sky, and you know.
I've not been in the country. I've been in New Zealand where they don't get Sky Atlantic. I've been relying.
You got Sky Go there.
I haven't been able to because I didn't have my mum's Sky password. Otherwise, I would have. I'm watching it legally tomorrow because I'm recording it tomorrow and watching it Monday because I can't watch it tomorrow live because I'm doing the recording for Let's Roleplay. So.
Sucks to be you.
All right.
Do not message me anything until about
It's a-
10 o'clock Monday morning, by which point I will have watched it, Joe.
Says you're always trying to spoil fucking all the wrestling stuff with Adam Cole.
That was like
Yeah.
that was like 2 days after.
Imagine if I hadn't known about it.
That was like 2 days after
That was
NXT.
not-
I imagined you already knew.
That was on the day, I believe.
No, it was 2 days after. I didn't watch it live. I watched it after I watched SummerSlam.
Yeah, but I don't have the network.
You would have
Alright.
seen it on Twitter.
Well, before Peter spoils anything else, I don't think he's done it yet, but I feel like he's on the road to it. Let's get out of here today. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun to come back and finally be able to do this again. Thank you so much, Sloan, for joining us today. Peter, as always, thank you for producing this to the best of your abilities.
I try.
However many they are, or few. Joe, thanks for showing up and being part of the cast. And we'd like to see more from you in the future. But yeah, thank you guys also for watching and joining us in this hour and 20 some odd minute adventure down a
Don't forget
sad
to like,
road.
comment, and subscribe down below.
Oh yeah, do all that. Clickbait me. But it's been a lot of fun, guys. Thanks again. Check out some of our other stuff that we plugged shamelessly, as we will always do, forever and always. And yeah, just thanks for being here, guys. See you later.
It's really great. It's great. It's fantastic.
Bye, guys.